Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think yesterday we were discuss about the scheme number 1, how that phenolic acid can be or could be synthesized in the laboratory by using as a different principles such as cross metathesis and how multiple steps can be carried out to get that Spiro framework. These type of the discussion we were discussed in our previous lectures. Now, right now, today, what we are going to discuss? Today we are going to discuss the scheme number 2. The heading or the title of that scheme number 2 is a preparation of unsaturated ketone 20. Now, unsaturated, this word you already know that in terms of the organic compound, those organic compound containing as a multiple bonds are known as a unsaturated compound, means carbon-carbon double bond, carbon-carbon triple bond, or even though there is a carbon-nitrogen double bond, carbon-oxygen double bond, carbon-sulfur double bond, that kind of the compound are generally termed as an unsaturated compound. And now the ketone means which containing as having the general formula RC double bond OR dash is known as a ketone, and unsaturated means there is a alpha beta unsaturated compound may be present over there. Now, let us begin with the first. So, up to the structure number 8 we have seen in our previous scheme. Now, the structure number you can see over here, this is the carbonyl group which is alpha beta unsaturated compound, and here the methyl group which is present at this point, and this is the structure of what type of the structure it is. It is the structure, well known structure, that is a plus where R, that is a R Poulet-Gon, that is the name of that compound which I have written on the blackboard. R means that rectus, it can rotate the plane of polarization to the right hand side, and therefore it is termed as R, means it has how many, if you observe the structure carefully, how many chiral centers are present over here? Only one chiral center is present over here, methyl group, and there is a hydrogen atom, it may be below the plane, that projecting below the plane, it is a chiral center, as we know that. R means what? How do you give? As we know that R and S configuration is assigned on the basis of sequence rule. And what does that sequence rule? Sequence rule is nothing but as an arrangement of priority group around the chiral center is known as a sequence rule, and which is formulated by 3 scientists, or it is termed as a CIP rule, which is known as a CIP means Kahn-Ingold-Prelog. These are the name of that, and they had formulated that rule, and therefore it is known as a CIP rule or the sequence rule. And there are certain rules, number 1, 2, 3. First one based on atomic number, second rule next atom, third rule double bond or triple bond, and fourth rule is isotopes. These are the certain rule formulated by those 3 scientists, and which is also shortly known as CIP rule, Kahn-Ingold-Prelog. So that are the scientists' name. Now, according to that, here look at, if you apply first rule over here, Here is a carbon atom, carbon atom, carbon atom. So go for the next. Here this carbon atom containing 2 hydrogen atom and next one is a carbon. This carbon having 2 hydrogen atom and next one is a carbon. So this carbon atom 3 hydrogen atoms, so it is a smaller, so only competition between these. On the next atom, see here double bond oxygen, so 2 oxygen and 1 carbon atom this carbon having, but this carbon having 2 hydrogen and 1 carbon atom next to that, and therefore this will be the, it will get the first priority, means first you can circle it. Now ultimately this will be the second and third is a methyl group, and go from 1 to 2 to 3, you can see clearly it is a moving clockwise manner, and the fourth priority group, if it is at the bottom or top, there is a no change, and therefore according to that we got this is a R plus this is experimental quantities which indicate as a dextrorotatory. The plane of polarization is rotate through clockwise motion, and therefore it is known as a dextrorotatory polygon. This is the common name of this compound. And now by adding number of steps, 2 steps, then what do you get? You are going to get as a structure number 10, the 6 membered ring is contracted into as a 5 membered ring, and it looks like this alpha beta unsaturated compound here OPG1, or we can say here instead of PG1 you can directly take as a PMP, that is a para-methoxyphenyl. PMG means para-methoxyphenyl, so that is there. And here the methyl group which is present here at this position, we can show as it is that the carbon number 14, and this is the structure which I have represented on blackboard. It is a structure number 10, and that after getting as a structure number 10 is alpha beta unsaturated 5 membered ketone. Now I am inverting the arrow. After inverting the arrow, what I can get, see carefully here, I am adding the reagent A, which is this one, TMS tetramethyl silyl group, then double bond, then this one CH2 CH2O AC, not OAC. This is a group, this is a compound, the compound number 11, this one. This is a compound number 10. On 10 I am treating 10 with compound number 11, which is represented on arrow, and after that what do I get? After that I am going to get the structure here, the structure which I am representing over here, this one, the 5 member ring having as a carbonyl group at this position. Now this group is above one, then CH2O PMP paramethoxyphenyl, And now the methyl group at 40 position, which remains as it is above the plane, when these group are negative positive 1,3 dipolar, so their 5 membered ring is going to attach like this. There is a double bond. So this is the compound which we got over here. This is the compound number this is a compound number 12. This is a compound number 12, and that compound number 12 is, we are going to show over here 3 means equivalent to that, so that we can represent the NOE effect by this group. Let us see here, I am showing this is a group where carbonyl group, further there is this group, then attach this one, this is there. After that, at this position, not here, at this position there is a methyl group which is projecting above the plane, and the another hydrogen atom I am representing like this, and one of the hydrogen atom at this position I am showing like this. After that, there is the ring which is formed like this. I am representing, this is a carbonyl group, not carbonyl group, this one is a 5 membered ring, not the carbonyl group which is here double bond. And after that, this structure only we are just showing like this, and here one of the bond which we are representing here is a hydrogen atom, and another hydrogen atom, and this group again OPMP, paramethoxy phenyl, which I have shown over here, PMP. Now here the hydrogen atom which are present at this position, one hydrogen atom is here, the another hydrogen atom I am showing over here. Now here I am showing as an arrow, that is a NOE, nuclear Uhrhaus effect, and this spectra was taken in the solvent CdCl3 is nothing but as a deuterated chloroform, and what they found the NOE effect between these two protons. They are close proximity and near about 33%, and these two protons, they are once again close proximity, and they found 4.0%, and there they observed the NOE effect. First of all, what do you mean by the NOE? Full form of NOE is a nuclear Uhrhaus effect, and this technique was used to determine the structure of the organic compound, how first normal spectra can be recorded in CdCl3 deuterated chloroform that is mentioned here, and after that the protons are irradiation. After that it is a subtraction of the original spectra. Only those spectra irradiated, there is a enhancement in the intensity in that particular percent. The intensity increases, and that effect is known as the nuclear Warhouse effect, or it is a technique used to determine the structure of the organic compounds that is there. Now I am reverting the arrow. So here I am cleaning these blackboards. So now you can remember here, just you stay with your connectivity, don't get anyway. So whenever I am showing that arrow, further this is a structure number 12. On 12 I am adding the reagent B, which is this one, containing here SO2 ONH2. Then at ortho position and para position there is a methoxy group. This is the structure number 13. This is the structure number 12 combined with structure number 13, resulting into as a structure number 14, and which reagent I am representing over here. This is a lactam type of the structure I am showing over here, and that is there. There is a methyl group which is a chiral center present at this position, and now here the group which is present at this position are this one OPM paramethoxy phenyl, and now this is the group which is attached over there, 5-membered ring having this double bond, and this is the structure number 14 which I have written over here, or I have represented over here. See clearly. Now on structure number 14, how many chiral center you will find here? There are 3 chiral, 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4 bonds are different, and therefore 3 chiral center present in structure number 14. And now I am again reverting the arrow like this. After that I added the structure number reagent C will be O3 ozonolysis. As we know that O3 is a ozone molecule, and as we know that as far as the environmental point of view is concerned, it plays a very important role in the environment, because in the stratosphere, as we know that environment means what? The envelope of air around the earth is known as the environment. There are 4 regions. First region is called as a troposphere, second one is a stratosphere, third one is a mesosphere, and fourth one is a thermosphere. So these are the 4 regions mainly made for environment. And in the stratosphere, in the second region, there is a thin layer of ozone present, and due to that ozone layer, the harmful rays like ultraviolet rays or cosmic rays get trapped due to the presence of ozone layer. If that layer were not present, then it will cause very harmful effect, very danger effect on the environment or on the living organism or living things. It plays the role just like blanket which the human being wear during the winter season to protect from the fever or from the cold. Same role ozone layer playing in the stratosphere, and that's why the whatever things present or human being or the non-living things which are present, but due to the improvement of quality of human being or increase in the quality of human life, there is revolution in industries, and they are manufacturing. Due to the revolution of industry, they manufacturing the household uses or utensils such as cartons, refrigerators. During as a coolant, one gas is used in a refrigerator like as a CFC, and when it damage or the leakage, when it escape from that particular container, that goes in the atmosphere, that causes, that produce the free radical chlorine, free radical, and one free chlorine radical can destroy 1 lakh of the ozone molecule, and due to that reason the ozone holes are generated in the atmosphere, in the stratosphere, and therefore the harmful rays like cosmic rays or hot rays directly falling on the earth, they damaging skin cancer or other living things. So that is the whole story regarding that ozone due to the global warming also. That is a other thing, we are not going to go into that, leave it. But here coming back to our use or the application of ozone molecule as far as the chemistry point of view is concerned, it can break carbon-carbon double bond, making the smaller fragmentation of aldehyde and ketone depending upon the nature of the starting material, and therefore that type of the role playing by that ozone molecule in organic chemistry. And now the next reagent they have used is this one, TsNH, NH2, that is a heavy molecule of hydrogen. Then the next reagent they have used is this one, NaBH3Cn, that is a sodium triborane trihydride borane cyanide. After the addition of all these reagents on structure number 14, they got the structure number 15, and it is like this. I am representing here is R. This is a structure which I am writing over here. So you can clearly observe this structure here. This is a group which is showing above the plane, then O, PMP, that is paramethoxyphenyl. Now here there is a 5-membered ring join, and here is a methyl group over here, and this is a lactam type of the, this is R dash, and if this is a F reagent, here I am showing this is a structure number 15 when R dash is equal to H. When it is further treated with F, CbZCl, where 16R dash is nothing but as a CbZ, and this is the structure number up to the 16 we have arrived. Now I am changing the arrow, but you keep the continuity as it is. And now here I am adding the reagent G, and which is LiBH4, LiBH4, lithium borohydride, which is a reducing reagent which reduce the amide into the respective. Now here I am going to get the 5-membered ring which is meiotic, which I am going to get over here. They have got here, this is a group which is above the plane, which is a protected primary alcohol by PMP, means paramethoxyphenyl. On the other side, the amine group which is protected with CbZ. CbZ is a benzyloxycarbonyl which can protect primary alcohol as well as primary amines, and therefore we got this one. On the other side, one methyl group that goes below the plane, and another one, there is a hydroxyl group, and this structure which we have got here, that structure is nothing but as a structure number 17. And after getting as a structure number 17, we will see the next one. Now you stay on connected with that connectivity. Now the reagent which I am going to add here, H is nothing but as a TBDPSCl, that is a tertiary butyl diphenylsilyl chloride, followed by I reagent which is a CAN. CAN means cerium ammonium nitrate, And after addition of these two reagents, what they have got? They have got the compound which I am representing over here. So, you can see over here this one. Now, this is a group above the plane. Now, OH, that is get deprotected with CAN, and now this is a group still protected group with CBZ. Now, here is a group, here methyl group. Now, this is the group which I am representing over here, O TBDPS, that is a protecting hydroxyl group, and the structure which we got over here is nothing but as a 18, that is a structure number 18 which we got over here. And after that structure number 18, I am adding the reagent. Now, you can just revert the arrows. You will find here the arrow which I am showing like this, I reagent, and not I, J reagent. J reagent will be SO3 sulfur trioxide in presence of pyridine and DMSO, that is dimethyl sulfoxide, followed by K reagent or the compound which is the compound number 19 which I am going to represent over here, C TBSO, then this one C double bond O, after that P double bond O, OMe, and here also as a OMe. This is a structure, this is a structure number 19, and our final unsaturated ketone which we are going to get over here will be this one. Finally, we got the structure of 20 which is nothing but as this one. Then there will be this group, then this one, double bond here, and then ketone group at 5, then this one, this and this will be the TBSO. This is a group which we got over here, and now this is a group that is below the plane here, NH, then CBZ which is group there. After that there is this group, now methyl group, then next one this group, now O, and this will be the TBDPS, that is a protected group, and this is nothing but as a structure number 20 which we got over here. So, I think this is the scheme number 2, preparation of unsaturated ketone 20 which we got over here. Look at it, is a unsaturated alpha beta unsaturated carbon carbon double bonds over there, and that is our target to achieve. That we achieved over here. We synthesize the alpha beta unsaturated ketone unsaturated carbonyl compound in this particular synthesis. So, chiral cyclopenthenone 10 is a new chiral building block developed in the developed in this study. And if it could be prepared easily from R plus polygon structure number 9 in 41% yield, or 5 steps on a 20-gram scale. As anticipated, the key palladium TMM 3+2 cyclization proceeded with high stereo selectivity, and only the anti-adduct 12 could be isolated 80% yield. The configuration of the C9 and C13 asymmetric centers was verified by NOE experiments of 12 regioselective Beckmann rearrangement using a bulky hydroxylamine reagent 13 MSH afforded the desired lactam 14 in 43% yield, quantitative yield based on the recovered starting material. Ozonolysis of the exoolefin hydrazone formation of the resultant ketone and deoxygenation with NaBH3CN provided 15 CBZ protection of an amide nitrogen and LiBH for reductive opening of the lactam ring gave alcohol 70. The enantiomeric purity of 70 was determined to be over 98% enantiomeric excess by the modified Morse method. If confirmed that no racemization had occurred during the above transformation from 10. Silylation of the primary alcohol of 17 followed by oxidative removal of paramethoxyphenyl ether by CAN gave alcohol 18, oxidation SO3 pyridine DMSO to the aldehyde, and Horner-Wadsworth-Emmons reaction with phosphate 19 afforded the key precursor 20 of the tandem hydrogenation cyclization as a single E isomer. So, with this, the two main named reactions, the principles they have used during the synthesis of phenamic acid are found to be Beckmann rearrangement, and another one is a Horner-Wadsworth-Emmons reaction. Olefin formation of that aldehyde and phosphate that we are going to discuss next time. The reagent, different reagent and the condition used for it, as well as these two named reaction which they have utilized, they applied here during the synthesis of phenamic acid, that also we are going to discuss in our upcoming lecture. Then wrap up the today's lecture. Remaining we will see in the next lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.